We just finished exploring that section of the mine. We entered this drift from there. The shaft station is just around the bend right there. And we've got this mystery drift, as I trip over all the rocks, mystery drift running back this way. Now, like I said, I suspect that runs around and wraps in the other side of the shaft, but we got to find out, right? That's all the stuff I was tripping over. So let's see. Like I said, this it's just more spacious and modern looking than the other drifts we've been going through. This could be later work or rehab or who knows what. It would make sense though, you know, dropping down the mine, newer stuff would be at the bottom. Old grease bucket right there. Okay. Gonna bend around here. Oh, there's a big grizzly right there. Look at that. Wow. That is a big grizzly. Man. You see the, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's metal all around the sides there. So for those of you who don't know, the way this would work is the miners would load up the ore cars with a rock and then dump it onto this called a Grizzly. And the Grizzly filters out the rocks that are too big, as you can see there and there. And then the stuff that is left drops down to another level where it's picked up on an ore car. It would have been trammed over, or excuse me, hauled over to the shaft station, put in a skip car, and then hauled out. That is a Grizzly. The size of that Grizzly tells you something about the scale of things here. That's 20 feet across. 15, 20 feet across. Got some explosives here. And the drift keeps running that way. I see some stuff up here though, so I'm going to keep the camera on. What stuff is this? I feel like I would have had a piece of equipment resting here. Oh, nice. This is pretty cool. Got the old coffee containers, cigarette packs. Wow, I don't know what that is. That's definitely not Folgers coffee though. Wow. Huh. Looks a little bit like Nutella, but I'm not going to try it and find out. Got your Lucky Strike cigarettes right there. Very cool. What else? Got Pall Mall again. We saw Pall Mall up above. Camel. Let's see. Looks like this is one of the filter masks. Instructions for one of the filter masks. Corral bar in Fallon. Focus on the address, will you? In Fallon, Nevada. Can someone in the audience please look that up and tell us if that's still in business? Obviously, I can't do that hundreds of feet underground. We don't have service, but I would be very curious to know if that's still around. I was looking around some more just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because there's a lot of stuff here. Got I'm going to show you all the labels and such because I think those are interesting. I looked inside these boxes because there are some splits and boards broken off the side, and they're just full of rocks. Like, looks like waste rock. So I'm not sure what the purpose would have been of these, except, like I said, for possibly having a heavy piece of equipment sit on top of them. Or maybe just a meeting area for the miners. I don't know. Somebody that's a miner will probably recognize the function. I'm not going to speculate too much more, otherwise I'll just sound dumb. Atlas powder. God, looks like an airline right here. I looked up at the back or the top of the drift as I was saying that. I saw those rock bolts right there. Alright, I think I've looked over the good stuff here. I'm very curious now what is ahead. So let's go find out. All that cool stuff is right there. And look what I have here. That going off the right, I would bet quite a lot that that runs right back to the shaft station. So, as I speculated, this was just a loop around the shaft station. I'd be really, really strongly willing to bet a huge amount of money on that. That wasn't very articulate, but I'm thinking about what's ahead here, which looks pretty modern. I see another pile up there, so I will push up to that point and see how things look. Just as I was turning the camera off, I noticed this switch down here. And I don't know what that is inside there, but notice a switch here, which is pretty cool. So now, I'll push ahead and see what's up there. I just came from back there, got the ore chute that we saw here. There's a manway running up that way. Behind me, just a little chamber with, see, it just ends right there. Just scrap wood tossed in it. This keeps running that way. I'll pick up when I hit something interesting. Just a little update. There was some really ugly ground fall back there. I made my way through. Now we're just, what would you call it, snaking through the mountain here, like this. Got some cool little platforms above me. I stopped at this exact point because I was taken with the miner's graffiti here. Of course, there's an ore chute. I should call this the ore chute mine. Right here in front of me. And we just keep snaking around. Yeah, there's little scraps of wood and things like that there. But just keep snaking along on this one. So I'll, oh, what do you know, another ore chute. I will pick up when we get to notable features. Because this is a big mine. It doesn't make sense to leave the camera on the whole time. Remember what I was saying about bad ground? Well, you're looking at some pretty messy up there. I don't know if I can get past that or not. Beat up old ore chute right here. Manway. Got sealed. These workings must have been abandoned, which makes sense because again these are older looking ore chutes and things are just not pretty back here. There's a and a hard time getting out of this. Okay, looks like a little manway dropping down there too. That might be a stope, hard to tell from where I am. Okay, I pushed forward. As you can see, things get worse and worse and worse. I pushed up there and it just was not possible to film because I needed to both hands to not slide down the deep hole right there. But that is caved. So that is it for this level. Back at what I believe is the 400 station. I started this level over there, standing next to that shovel. If you recall, went back that way, looped around a lot back there, and there was this workshop, little workshop over here that I didn't see until now because went around the back side of this and I just came through there. You see how much stuff has come down. That's why I'm breathing a bit hard because it was hard to worm my way through that. But got some old cast off cans there and looks like some drill steel, remains of a shovel. More of the flexifoam. Definitely use that a lot. Those are my buddy's gloves. Those aren't old. We have a light bulb stuck in Vaseline. I like that. White Magic from Safeway. Not sure how old that might be. Caution, injurious to eyes. Directions for laundering. I really can. It's got something in it. It's got liquid in it, but I cannot imagine why that would be down here. Let's try to find a date. It's older because you see it's got the metal top. I was hoping to see a date of some sort, but I mean it's not old because it's plastic, but it's older than what we see now. And the rest of these shelves are empty. This just carries back. See where it bends right there? Right there? That's where the other drift cuts in, so you didn't miss anything at all. So, that being said, we have more levels below us. So, let's start dropping down to the 500 station. There's a shaft there, and we are not on the 500 level. And instead, unexpectedly, at least for me, come across this chute here, which must have something good for them to build this little station here. And that chute there dumps down that right there, where it would then empty into a skip car that would run directly underneath it there, which is pretty cool. Also cool, that sign right there, call skip ring 253. You see the lines right here still, airline and such. 500 level, still waiting for us down there somewhere. Let's go find it. I finally made it to the 500 station, and it was much farther apart from the others. The others were probably about 100, 150 feet apart. This was much farther down for some reason. Got the cool sign I call the skip. Now we have an ugly plug right here. You can see the skip car went crashing down the shaft. All the cable right there. Myers call it rope. And that's the skip car right there. I can get a better view of it when I go down farther, actually, because fortunately the manway is still open, so we can get around this plug. We're going down the manway. When I get down there, I'll show you more of the skip. But it definitely did some damage here. As you can see, I'm standing on a precarious beam. This is leaning way over, so let me get off of that. I was just standing there a moment ago, and here's a better view of the shaft station. This is a pretty big chamber, actually. Same pattern as above. A drift running off that way. Cool stuff here. And you got the drift running off that way. A few interesting things here. There's this spool, now empty of course. Let's see, what does it say? I'll let you guys read that. A few little scraps here and there. Smith Brothers, I think they were bought or purchased by GlaxoSmithKline, if I remember correctly. Although somebody may correct me. How to roll a cigarette. Good stuff. And here are the directions for some explosives. Valve right there. Looks like they would have had some equipment mounted there. Got Uncle Ben making an appearance. Little Uncle Ben. A couple barrels down here. This is pretty cool. You've got this four-way track junction right here. So you could have ore carts going off in all different directions. Stuff would come in from over there. They could put it onto another car, dump it in the skip. All kinds of options. It's like some Hills Brothers coffee. Yeah. Those are older. I haven't seen those like that in that style for a while. Barrel of Scassel. I am not familiar with this. Looks like Hercules, San Francisco. Huh. Not a company I'm familiar with. Yeah, Scassel. I don't know. No deposit, no return. 1881. Yeah, no idea what this is for. That's interesting. Behind me, I saw old fuel container, some old Pepsi can. Yeah, always cool to see these old castaways down here. I was looking for the word. I didn't want to say trash because it was trash at the time, but for us, it's actually pretty interesting. So it's not trash, so I'll say cast-offs. Very spacious in here. You see the rock molds up there. It's probably at least 10 feet above my head. Another view of shaft station. That's my bag there. I've been going to the drifts off on the left like this, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. And we'll see what we find. Seems pretty spacious down here, which is nice. You know what? This looks like the same layout as above. Drift keeps going for a way. And then we've got this running off, and I'll bet this wraps around the back of the shaft station. I'd put a lot of money on that. There's John. Slightly older one. So, junction note looks kind of cool. Looks pretty featureless for a ways, so I'll pick up when I hit something interesting. We've been coming from that direction. See the mineralization down here. This stuff's really flaky and crumbly. It looks like it could delaminate from the ribs of the drift at any second. And the miners must have perceived that as well, because look at these cap and post timber sets that they ran the whole length of this section. And sure enough, looks like, oh man, I'm going to lower my voice a bit because that is no good. Look at the pressure that's under. It's just bursting out from the side. From the literally tons and tons of rock right there. That's extraordinary. Okay, let's get past this section. Oh man, it's all through here. Okay. Oh wow, what do you know? Ore chutes. That's that uncomfortable section we just came through. I've come up to the ore chutes here. This appears to be ore chute number 1. And again, this looks more modern than the workings that we saw above. There's a tool skip here maybe. Do you remember up above there was that huge winds dropping down? I'll bet this was it. This looks like the right size, about the right place, and it's really extensively timbered. So I bet this is what that was. That's unbelievable. It just stretches up there forever. And I said you have a tool skip on the left here, so they could drag their tools up and down while they were making their way up and down. is a big ore chute here. There's an amazing amount of wood down here. Alright, looking ahead. Is that a face? What is that? It was indeed a face. That's it. Except for this little mini raise right here. Huh. Okay, well, let's go back and check out the other drift. Back that way. We just finished checking out that section. I'm back at this junction. See a switch right there? Back at this junction here with Big John right there. Remember the shaft is right there, and I'm almost certain this loops around behind it. So now we'll go over here and check this out. I was about to go by Big John. I noticed these pages torn out of a magazine here. Couldn't see any dates, but the cartoon will maybe give somebody some idea of how old this is. It says one false step and splash. And then if I pause it, turn it over. That's just text. If you really want to read it, you can pause the video. And this says fact crime. Brickbat Charlie and the Murderous Madam. Copyright 1955. There we go. 1955. Did find a date. That junction where Big John is, and we just read the papers, is back there. I've come around, and again, this mine is remarkable for its consistency because we have another Grizzly here. Don't have a bunch of cool artifacts like we did up above, but the other one I think was around the bend as well. So maybe there'll be something good there as well. Around the bend. Yeah, let's stick a dynamite right there. Some gloves. Valley Dairy Milk. Camel cigarettes. More camels. Yes, camel. Camel cigarettes seem to be popular in this mine. Here's a look at that Grizzly, and again you can see it behaved exactly as it's supposed to. It was supposed to filter out the giant boulders. It did exactly that, as you can see. Interestingly, okay, so this side looks plugged up. See? This side, however, well, I guess you could say it's plugged up, but it goes down much, much farther. Also interesting, the one above was lined with metal. This is lined with wood. I've done a hell of a job building that. So we've got stuff going around the bend over here. Looks like it's snaking its way through. I'll pick up over there. We just came from there. You can actually see the shaft station this time. Right there. See that stuff there? That's where we started from. So you have to believe me this time. Cool little shot of this junction here. I'm standing at some really beefy timbers that run back this way. As you can see, I don't see anything at least up until that bend, so I'll pick up there. We came from there. We've got another junction here. I think that just goes back there and stop, but I'll check. Drift keeps going this way, and it's kind of cool because the ties are much more visible here. So we'll go down there in just a second. I just want to be sure that this does in fact end here rather than keep going, because I don't want to miss something like an ore cart. See? It kept going. I think it stops right there, but it did keep going. Bunch of ventilation pipe. I'll go back there and look. If there's anything interesting, no, that's the end right there. I can see already. I'll just be sure, and then I'll pick up in the main drift. As expected, it did stop there, so we will continue down here. Kind of cool about this mine, it still has all the intact light bulbs. It's pretty neat. As is this view of the track. I do love track. I really like rail, especially when you get this cool visual of the track ties and such stretching out ahead of you. I'm fond of that. See an ore chute up there? Big surprise. It just runs off forever. I'll pick up again when I hit the next noteworthy feature. See all the light bulbs along there? Anyway, I'll pick up there. Alright, this is very interesting. We have been coming from that direction. That's the ore chute I pointed out in the distance. I have lagging right in front of me. Those boards right there called lagging. I have lagging right in front of me. And I have a whole series of ore chutes extending. Looks like there might be a cave in up there actually. Anyway, a whole series of ore chutes extending that way. Now, what's interesting is behind me, a junction here. I've got a complex winds station here. It runs, there's a room back there. There's a drift. It leads back there. I went back there and it just dead ends with some shelves. And so I think that might have been explosive storage since it stood away from everything else. You can see they had a rail running down here for a skip car. We'll look up there in a second. Right in front of me, beneath this trap door, is a manway. I'll give you a quick peek of the room. We'll take a closer look at that in just a second, but I want to show you down here real quickly. So there's looking down the manway. I feel a little bit of airflow coming up. Goes as far as I can see. So if for some reason the shaft is plugged or blocked, we can possibly go down this way as well. So it's good to know about this. That manway is right here. Looking up. See, they've had a skip car running up here. So looking up, looks like there's a big stope chamber up there. Focus camera. Big stope chamber up there. Just notice this platform here as well. Platform there as well. Just a ton of woodwork in here. It's amazing. You see where the cables were biting into the wood right there. That's grease that was on the cable. That's essentially chewed into and embedded itself in the wood. I don't know if you can tell in 2 dimensions on your screen, but that's all chewed up. It's got these deep grooves in it from the cable running over it, which of course would have run, the skip would have run underneath where I'm standing right now. See the rail where I've gone up through. See the rails going through at my feet? A skip car would have run down there. Very interesting. Like I said, that, you can see the end right there. That's the end right there. I have just some shelves back there. Bunch of stuff in this room here. Huh. Monte Cristo, Union Carbide, some well-worn Miracle Whip lid. This looks interesting. The old gold cigarettes. I unfolded the pages a bit, and this was Red Book for Young Adults. The Girl I Married. Ozzy tells how Harriet keeps the Nelson men in line and why she's the girl of his dreams. The world has changed a lot. 54 Ford. Extra dividends at no extra cost in the 54 Ford. 130 horsepower. My block V8. These old ads are amazing. Over here we've got Hill and Hill from Kentucky. Straight whiskey, bourbon. I hope you guys like these old ads. I think this stuff's fascinating. Hope you guys aren't bored. We have an amazing offer for the readers of this magazine. Collected works of Zane Grey. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting. Woodwork wraps back there. Look, there's a bunch of stuff back there too. Got some Baby Ruths. Baby Ruth box. That's an old one for 10 cents. Almond Joy is not left out either. I think I might like what's back here. Some grease right there. Gum. El Capitan Gambling Hall, Hawthorne, Nevada. These look like the instructions for explosives. Seen those many times. They were smokers. Got your Lucky Strikes. That sounds like my exploring buddies caught up to me. Lucky Strikes, Vicks, Palma. Oh, wow, look at the little Philip Morris container. Haven't seen packaging like that in a while. Keystone.
Helpful, but I brought your stuff over here.
Yeah, I might need it. This is amazing seeing this stuff. Frenchman Station. Haven't seen that Beeman's Pepsin gun before. Very interesting. And blasting caps, in case you missed that. Very cool. Alright, there's that room we were just checking out. And my buddy has joined us. His tripod right there. I've climbed up this walkway here in an awkward position. That's why the shooting is kind of awkward. To see what was up here, because I wasn't sure if this was a stope or what, but I think this must have been where the hoist was, because there's just a little chamber up here, and that's it. So they could have had the hoist sitting here. See this platform right here, or the remains of it? Could have had that sitting here, and then they would have hauled things up and down that internal winds from down there. That's my buddy there, checking things out. There's that cool wind station. And I'm pretty curious what is down here, aside from this whole series of ore chutes. Looks like it's a bad cave-in right there. I don't know if that may be the end of it for us or not. Oh, back to the pattern. Obviously lower levels, as is evidenced by the manways and shafts and such, but here's further evidence of that. That one is taking a beating. This is a pretty solid looking ore chute right here. Oh, yeah. I can try and squeeze through there. That's really gonna suck, but I can try. Obviously, a lot of stuff failed there. Came down and made a mess, but I'll try and push through that and get to the other side. I just made my way through that, and I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the most unpleasant things I've ever crawled through. Basically, no matter which way you tried to worm through, there's a sharp rock poking you somewhere. And this whole thing was creaking and groaning above me as I was going through it, which did not in any way inspire confidence. But I'm glad I made it through. Of course, I have to go back, but at least for now, I'm happy. There's this cool handwritten note on the side of the ore chute right here. Sure that made sense to the operator. Behind me, drift looks like it's in pretty good shape actually. There's this, there's an ore pass or stope dropping down here. Looks like a stope really. Yeah. You see there's a stope down there. Here, more ore chutes. I don't need any of these to go when I'm in here. Another long string of ore chutes there. A ladder going up here. Ladders going up here. Up into the stopes. The stopes we've been looking down on. Little bench right there. More ore chutes. False floor here over more stopes dropping down. These are better protected than those up above. I guess they were a little more concerned about minor safety. It's like a manway and a tool skip actually here rather than a stope. My point though is they're covering up the openings, which they weren't doing before. A couple of giant ore chutes here. Manway and tool skip. One up there. That looks like it's in really bad shape up there. Wow. Little room back here, little chamber. Looks like it might be the top of a chute. Right there. I'm just making sure there's nothing back here. That just dead ends right there. Another chute here, as you can see. These are all just gigantic chutes, by the way. Looks like there was a chute here, but it's been all filled in. Now it's really filled in. Maybe look down here. Looks like an old tool skip ran down there for as far as we can see. More chutes. So many chutes. So many chutes in this mine. Wow. Okay, I got a mess up here. I'm gonna figure what's going on up here and I'll turn the camera back on. This mess is from the stope up there where all this material fell down from. You see it looks like a pretty good vein right there. The drift looks like it continues around the bend there. Another one of those little chambers here. Interesting message on it. All primers not used must be placed here. Let's see what might be inside. Empty, no surprise, but still interesting. Anything else back here? Some dynamite. And some ventilation tubing. And messy drift running away with ore chutes. I'll pick up over there. We came from over there. I'm in the middle of the sea of ore chutes. There's this manway running up here that I thought looked kind of interesting. It's pretty beat up, but it goes way up there. As you can see, the gallery of ore chutes continues, of course, as well. See it stretching out. I'll tell you what though, I'm missing the clean drifts we had back near the shaft. Or because this stuff's hard to get through and not much fun. I'll pick up there. Continuing down the gallery of ore chutes. Still messy. See what kind of pressure this stuff's under? Bad news. Bad news. Looks like it goes back there and bends to the right, so I'll pick up back there. So finally focused. There's looking down there. And of course I've got the ore chute directly behind me. Those beefy metal gates. It says ore above up there. And this just keeps pushing into the mountain. Got another grease can to grease the rails. Ah, that's looking ugly. Tired of that. Cool skip way, excuse me, cool tool skip here. Man way running up. Kind of doubles back on itself, looks like. Giant ore chute here. These are all 4 feet or more across. Looking ahead. Yeah, it's messy. We've been down here for hours and hours and getting tired, so I'm getting tired of fighting through stuff like that. We'll see how it looks up ahead. Okay, up to the next headache. You can see it looks like the chutes just keep running back there past this, so I'll climb over that and keep going as well. I made it over that mess, and as it looks from back there, it is indeed mineralization right there. It is indeed just an incredible series of ore chutes going and going and going and going and going. This one says waste, which is interesting. However, as I said, it just keeps going for endless ore chutes. So I'm going to push ahead a ways and I'll turn the camera back on when this changes from just ore chute after ore chute after ore chute. I've been coming from that direction and I've gotten to something I was curious about, which was the exit. I wasn't sure what that meant. Another ore in here sign. Anyway, got the arrows and such pointing out. That was a cane I just stepped on. I can feel the airflow. So this series of ladders and platforms must go all the way up to one of the very first levels, if not the first level. That goes way up there. That's really cool. I was wondering where that exit was going to be. Oh, I was just seeing if that one said ore or waste, but it says nothing. Got some lagging back here. We still have our track. Looks like some explosives boxes. And that is it. That is the face. Wow, they took a lot of material out on this side. There are so many ore chutes. I didn't count them all, but there are many, many, many ore chutes along here. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, I think this level's done. I'm gonna go climb back over those nasty piles and keep dropping down the shaft. So I'm hiking out to get back to the shaft that way, and I glanced over at this board. It looks like they've got a crude diagram of the ore body here and the way they're accessing it. In other words, got the shaft running down there. You can see where the drifts are hitting the ore body. Interesting. So that's how the mine's laid out, guys. In case that was harder for you to visualize. Cool. I don't think that says anything. Alright, now onto the shaft station. Alright, we're back at that main shaft station. My buddy's just about to start dropping down. So I'm taking a break because I'm tired from climbing over all that stuff. While I was back there, he noticed this, which is really cool. It's in good shape, all things considered, compared to how I usually see them. If you see them at all, because usually they're all rusty or banged up, or you just see pieces of them. Very cool.